Well, good morning. Welcome to a. I can't decide if it's going to be a dreary day or if it's actually going to get better. Well, it is the 1st of November, and so it's chilly, and kind of, I don't know. So, welcome to Coffee and Jesus, our weekly devotional. Hopefully, I've got something in my coffee. Okay. Anyway, hopefully, I'll get this put up today on Monday. Today is actually Monday. It's Monday morning. And so we'll see if I get it posted today. It's going to get recorded on a Monday. So we'll see if it gets posted. Okay. I'm so glad to be back with you guys today. I've missed you. I feel like my brain has been so scattered. I know I've been doing some of the devotions, but my brain has been so scattered. So it's funny. Y'all know me. I'm stubborn. And so it takes God a while to get through. I have to mull things. A lot of things I talk about are not things I've necessarily just been doing the week before. It may be the week before, the month before, maybe a whole year. Who knows? But I've been doing some reading and some studying, and God's been dealing with me, giving me some devotions and some songs and stuff that have been on the same kind of topic. And it's been about contentment, and not necessarily content in like material things like possessions, and because he and I did that a couple of years ago, but it's in situations and circumstances. And I kept going, but God, you said, your word said, and you said that, if we ask, that you'll answer our prayers, and that you will deal with things for us, and that you're going to fight my battles, and you're going to work things out for my good. All those things. But it also says he's faithful, and that his plans are higher than my plans, and that I may not always understand. And so we've been dealing with the idea of contentment in that, what if he says no? What if he says, the answer to my prayer is no? What if he says, not right now? Or what if he says that's not my plan? How do I deal with that? Because if you know me, I'm not real good at not getting my way. I'm kind of, spoiled in that. But, so I struggle with that because, yes, I do understand that God's ways are higher than my ways. And I do fully believe that he is faithful and he is working things for my good. But the reality is I have to walk it. And sometimes these situations that I'm praying about, they're hard. They're not fun. They seem unfair and just not right. But he's either said no, and he has to some. Some I believe he's just saying not right now. And some, it's just waiting. I don't know what his answer is going to be. But I'm still having to live with that. And nobody likes to be told no. Nobody likes to be told, well, you just have to deal with this a little longer. Or, this is part of what your road is going to be for a while. So I've been trying, I've been like earnestly seeking him, going, what do? I don't know how to deal with this, because you're saying that this is where I am and what I'm dealing with, but I don't want to do it. I don't like it. I don't know how to do it. I don't know that I can do it. So I don't want to be here. So that's kind of where I've been and been doing stuff. And then our interim pastor, Brother Chris Hughes, preached this Sunday about attitude adjustment. I don't know if he knew that whole sermon was for me. But it was. I took lots of notes, and God and I had some chit chats during the middle of church. But he preached about attitude adjustment, and he preached from the book of Philippians. And one of the things he said, Philippians is a small book. You could read through the whole thing. And so I was just reading through it to kind of gain more perspective. So, and as I read, and I was reading what Paul was writing, because the thing is, he was in prison. He was not in the greatest situation. And God allowed him to be there. And God allowed him to sit there for a while. And God allowed him to go there several times. But there were a couple things that just kind of stood out to me as I read. And I want to read those to you. Okay? In Philippians 3. Okay, hang on. I got to get over here where I'm supposed to be. In Philippians 3, verses 13 through 20. This is a letter that Paul was writing to the church at Philippi. Okay? And this is part of the letter. It says, "Brothers, I do not consider myself yet having taken hold, but one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Jesus Christ." All of us who are mature should take such a view of things. And if on some point you think differently, that God will make that clear to you as well. Only let us live up to what we already have attained. Oh my God. Okay. Join with others in following my example, brothers. Take note of those who live according to the patterns that we gave you. For I have often told you before, and now I say again, even with tears, many live as enemies to the cross. Their destiny is destruction. Their God is their stomach, and their glory is their shame. Their mind is on earthly things, but our citizenship is in heaven. And then jump over to chapter 4, verses 11 through 13. He had just said, I'm glad that you're concerned for me. And I'm not saying this because I'm in need, for I have learned to be content in whatever the circumstance. I know what it is to be in need. I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, living in plenty or want. I can do everything through him who strengthens me. And so I was like, okay, Paul is living in prison. Paul has been in situations where he was beaten. Paul has been in situations where he was hiding and running for his life. Paul has been in situations where people called him crazy. Paul has been in situations where he didn't have any food or any clothes. Paul has also been in situations where he was exalted as a great teacher and honored and revered, and had plenty. He walked with Jesus. So he's been in the mountains and in the valleys. And yet he's saying, I've learned to be content no matter where I am, no matter what situation or circumstances. And I'm not looking at the past. I'm not, wishing for a better day. Because the thing is, I really think that Paul had some scripture written on his heart that he truly understood. And one of those scriptures is Psalm, I wrote it down. I know this song. I just want to make sure I have the right address for you. 118, verse 24. This is the day that the Lord hath made, and I will be glad and rejoice in it. He understood that the idea of being content with where he was, with what he had, with the circumstances, because he understood that every day, every circumstance, every gift, everything was given by God in that moment, in that time. And that is the path. That is where God placed him at that moment. And that we should rejoice in that. He understood that back in Isaiah 43, when God said, "Behold, I do a new thing," that wasn't for that day only. That, behold, God does a new thing all the time. Because Paul understood that God knows the plan. We don't. And so to us, it's a new thing. But in reality, to God, it's not a new thing, right? Proverbs 16:9 says, a man plans, but God determines his steps. We may think we know what the plan is and where we should be and what should be happening and how God should answer our prayers. But the reality is God knows, and it's his plan. And even though we may be trucking along and all of a sudden we feel like we've just turned, a 90-degree turn, and we're like, whoa, God's shifting everything. He's changing everything up. The reality is he didn't, because we may think he's doing a new thing, but he's like, no, this is kind of what I had planned. So, just like Paul, we have to recognize that God's plans are God's plans. They're not ours. And that he does plan for our good. We have to recognize and accept that. Accept that we're not in control. And then, here's why I have a little trouble. Okay, not a little, but a lot. We have to be able to adjust. Recalculate, as the GPS says. We have to be able to adjust our thinking on the situation, adjust our plans, adjust what direction we're actually going in. I don't do that well. I don't do that well at all. I'm a planner. I'm a thinker aheader. I don't know if that's actually a term, but I'm a thinker aheader. And when plans change, my plans change, or my vision of what something should look like and how something should behave and be, when that changes, or when something I think should happen doesn't happen, I have a hard time. I struggle. And so I need to make that connection in my walk, that it's not an abrupt change. It's not an about face. It's not now I'm walking in the wilderness, right? I need to adjust how I see it and adjust my attitude toward it. I need to stop dwelling on the what ifs, right? Or the why nots, or the is it gonna happen, or why did it not happen? I need to stop dwelling on the, well, it was doing this and now it's doing this, or the, well, why can't it be like it used to, or what if God does this, or when God does this. I need to stop dwelling on the what ifs, when ifs, why nots, all of those if onlys. If only God would move, if only God would change this, if only God would answer this prayer, if only God would answer this prayer this way. I need to stop with all that and start celebrating the what is. What is today? What is it that God has given me? What is the path that I am on? What is the circumstance I am in? It may be hard, but I can still celebrate it, right? Paul did, and he was in prison. He'd been beat, and lots of people hated him, but he was still celebrating that day, right? I mean, in verse 11 on that chapter 4, it said, I have learned to be content in whatever circumstance I'm in. To be content, to be okay with, right? That's hard. That is so hard. Because frankly, I don't like some of the circumstances I'm dealing with. I don't like some of the situations that I've been put in. I don't like them at all. And I've prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed for God to intervene, for God to deal, for God to smooth paths, for God to do this, for God to do that. Yeah. And some of those situations has been a firm no. I hate those. Right? I mean, because when there's not a firm no, you can still kind of, beg and plead. But when there's firm no, there's firm no. And then some of them, there's been a very distinct not now. You've got to wait. I don't wait well. And then some I'm still waiting on the answer, but I know that he's going to answer. I know that he's in the situation because I see him. Even in the no's, I see him working and dealing and taking care of. And so since I know that he's faithful and I know he's working and I know his plans are better and higher than mine, I need to adjust my attitude. Instead of whining and complaining and begging and pleading to God and being not the most pleasant person when I'm dealing with those situations. Because my husband can tell you, especially there's one particular circumstance that we're in right now, I'm not doing well with my attitude. I'm not mean. Well, maybe not. Maybe borderline. But I'm not doing well with my attitude toward it. And so instead of all that, I need to take a breath and step back and go, okay, God has allowed this situation, has put me in this situation, is keeping me in this situation, circumstance for a reason. I don't know what it is, and I don't have to figure it out. I don't need to know, but what I need to do is be like, okay, Lord, how can you use me? What do you need me to be doing? Not need. He didn't need me to do anything. What do you want me to be doing in this situation, right? Where's the joy in this situation? Because the truth is, there's joy everywhere. This is the day that the Lord hath made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. So, help me to adjust my attitude, adjust my viewpoint, to celebrate this situation, to celebrate this moment. Because I need to celebrate each day, regardless of what is happening that day, regardless of what circumstances or situations are going on that day. I need to celebrate this day as a single gift of God. He has given me this day. He has laid out this day for me. And He loves me. And He wants my good. Right? So I need to celebrate that. I got to stop wasting time and energy, whining, complaining, being negative, and wondering about the what ifs, why nots, when ifs. Because that's not accomplishing anything except making me a basket case. And that's not what He wants, right? Proverbs 14:30 says, "A heart that is content gives life to the body, but envy or discontent rots the bones." I feel like I've been a bag of rotten bones lately because I've allowed situations and circumstances to dictate my view. And I should not, because my attitude should be a reflection of my salvation, which is joyful, which is freedom, which is just able to tackle every day, because I know that I have the power through Jesus Christ to deal with, conquer anything. So I need to shift my attitude. I don't want to be a bunch of rotted bones. So I'm going to work on adjusting my attitude. I'm going to work on looking at my circumstances and working towards celebrating every day. Celebrating what is, not lamenting what ifs, when ifs, if onlys. So I'm going to celebrate what is. I'm going to work on taking to heart Psalm 118, verse 24. This is the day that the Lord had made. I will rejoice and be glad in it, in today. So in Matthew, when we've went over this one a whole lot, it's that, don't worry about tomorrow because tomorrow's got enough worries, right? I'm not even going to worry about today. I'm just going to focus on today and celebrate today and try to change my attitude and my perspective and celebrate what is. What is good about today? What can I do to glorify God today? What can I do to serve today? Right? So help me, pray for me, and I'll pray for you, and let's work on celebrating what is, right? Even if it's not the greatest of situations, even if it's a hard situation, an unfair situation, we still need to celebrate that today God gave us. And it's part of His plan. May not understand it, may not love it, but I'm going to celebrate it. Maybe. I'm going to try. Just the reality. I'm human. I am not perfect. I'm going to try. That's the goal, right? So, celebrate what is. Okay? All right, let's go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Father, I just love you so much, and I just am in awe of your love and compassion and care for your people. That you sent your Son to die on a cross so that our sins can be covered, so we can have that direct relationship with you. So that I can sit here at my kitchen table and have conversation with you, and you can speak to me and show me your word and guide me and encourage me and support me and correct me. I'm just in awe that you would do that for me and for your people. Lord, I thank you for today. I want to celebrate today. I want to celebrate what is. I want to celebrate the situations, circumstances, the provisions, and not envy or covet or be discontented, because I know that your plans for me are for my good. And I want to celebrate that and try to walk in the joy of whatever situation it is, and walk in the knowledge that somewhere in there I can give you glory. Lord, I want to praise you and just lift you up, Lord. Amen. So, that's us. Elizabeth and Mom Support's got some stuff going on. We have a Mom's Morning Out, November 20th at 11 a.m., Calvary Baptist. There'll be an event post sometime soon this week on Cornerstone Family Ministries, Elizabethton, and Elizabethton Mom Support. So there'll be a link to register for that. That way we can know how much food and how much childcare to have. And we also have, starting in December, I know it's just November, but giving you a heads up, the 1st and the 3rd Friday nights, starting in December at 7 p.m., we will be doing a Mom's Bible study. And each week it'll be a standalone, so you're not going to have to buy any materials or try to keep up. So if you can, just come to the ones you can, But there'll also be an events post on that. And you won't have to really sign up unless you need childcare. So, yeah, be looking for those. We're excited about that. Calvary Baptist is where I'm, partner with them a lot. And I work with the children's ministry a lot. And we're getting ready to start a family ministry program, and our first kind of big venture. I'm excited about this, so y'all be beginning in prayer, and I will let you know more about this as it unfolds. We are creating an emergency needs diaper and wipes / supply closet for mamas and families, and we are working on stocking the shelves right now, so information will be coming probably in the next, I don't know, month or so, about how people can refer and or contact us if you need supplies for your baby, or diapers and wipes and possibly formula bottles, things like that, or if you know someone that is in need, because being a mom is hard. It's harder when you don't have the resources to do your job. So be praying about that, and yeah, just keep an eye on Cornerstone Family Ministries, Elizabethan, and Elizabethan Mom Support. If you're a mama, join that group. Try to post encouragement, education, I don't know, all kinds of fun stuff on there. Y'all have a wonderful week. Celebrate what is with me.